What's up, everybody? Welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is B-Boy Dreaded. I've been breaking for about 20 years. I specialize in breakdancing, b-boying, breaking, getting funky, getting down, having fun on the floor. We're going to be running through some more breaking today. If you weren't here last week, that's all good. I think the video's still online, so check that out. And if not, we're going to run through what we did last week, add on to it, and go into some different avenues. So all good if this is your first time. As I said, my name's B-Boy Dreaded. I've been breaking for about 20 years. I'm about to show you a video of me dancing down this side of town, down south near my house. That'll kind of explain what I do, what I've been doing, and then we'll get into getting you dancing. So if we could play the video, please. So there it was. That's me getting down and showing you what I can do. Just for interest's sake, that's actually my own song I made as well. So if you want to have a look at the video, it's just B-Boy Dreaded, all one word, so double B-O-Y Dreaded on YouTube, or you can go DJ Dreaded on Spotify to find that song, and some of these songs as well that's playing in the background. So I'll just quickly talk through the different aspects of breaking again. We've got 4 main aspects. None of them are locked into one particular part. You can do some with the other, but to make it easy for you, I'll break it down into 4 parts. We got our top rock, where you're standing upright top. So that's just your normal 2-step. And anything else deriving from that. Again, we got our drop. So this is where breaking becomes different than any other dance, because a lot of dancers are up top. This is where we're transitioning to the floor. So there's a few ways to get to the floor, a few ways to get up as well. And we can sweep drop. So now we've dropped and we're on the floor. We've got a few footwork moves or floor work moves. And then there's your power moves and freezes. So power moves can be anything from backspins, head spins, or just your normal freezes like this. Breaking can be take a while to get used to and can be dangerous if you haven't practiced, so please take it easy and don't do anything you're not ready for. And just be aware of your surroundings. Don't kick anything if you're going for big backspins or whatnot. Alright, so today we'll run back through the 2 steps we did last week. If this is your first time, I'll explain it all from the start. And we'll add on. So we got a 2-step, still has 2 steps in it. So we're just going to start by stepping our left foot forward. Go slightly in front of the right foot. You don't want it too far sideways. You don't want it too far to the other side. So just across, you come back, across, you come back. So left moves in front of the right, they're together. Right moves in front of the left, and they're together. If you can, I want you moving off of that back foot. So you put about 50% of your weight on the front foot. A lot of other dances, you kind of stay centered, but with breaking, you want to move around a lot. Shift your weight around. So it's a bit different than other dances. You want to take up a lot of room and move. So just stepping all your weight onto that front foot, coming back. If it helps, lift that back foot off, just to get the hang of it. Cool. Alright, so just do it with me a couple more times, then we'll move back onto the side step, then we'll stretch up, and then we'll do a new one. So just two-step a couple more times. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And if you remember from last week, if you were here, whenever you finish something, you want to add a freeze. And like an exclamation mark. So either crossing your arms, grabbing your hat, smiling. It's up to you whether you go with a tough, happy, or in between thing, but always finishing off your moves always makes it look professional, sweet, and nice, and can sell anything. You can do you can maybe crash or have a fall in the middle of your set, as long as you get up and look confident. No one will even know you fell, or no one knows what you're doing. So as long as you finish nicely, add a bit of style into it, you'll never go wrong. So last week we also did the side step. So that's just, as it's described, stepping to the side. Also called the hustle step or the salsa step sometimes. But we're just going to take our weight to the side and come back, and to the side and come back, side, come back, side, come back. If that was a little bit too easy for you, we'll add a kick in. So last week we just added a kick in and step sideways, kick in and step sideways. Just while I've got you, we just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people watching. We got Ashley and Kate tuned in, so thank you for tuning in and joining in. So we'll keep going. So just the side step, side, back, side, back, side, and then keep that foot there. Just step if you want to add the kick in. We didn't go into this much last week, but we'll do it this week, and it's going to play into the next step, which is the battle up rock. So we're going to do it on beat. So we're going to use the beats. So I usually step out on the 1, if you know what a 1 is, or the bass drum, and back on the 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha. So that's a 2-step on beat. We're doing the side step. I usually kick on the 1. So it'll be like 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, cha, 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 boom, cha. If you want to combo those two and on beat, if you don't understand the structure of the music or what actually the drums, because there's a lot of drums hidden in between those 1s and 2s, we'll explain it a little bit more as we get to the next bit after our stretch. But just for now, we'll combo those 2. So you just got your 1 and your 2, and your 1 and your 2. When you're back here, we'll just go to our 2-step and back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, step. And we're about to finish off, so as always when you finish, add a freeze. Cool. Alright, So that's, we'll give a little bit of a jog and a shake as well to warm up. And then we'll get into our stretching. Cool. So we just go through our similar stretching routine from last week. We're just going to have one leg out, put our weight on our bent leg and leaning forward, and just coming up. We'll do that about 8 to 10 times. Switching legs, that was 8. Cool, last one. Then we'll go to our sumo pose. Please use your hands if you need. I'm going to try and look tough today and not use my hands, but don't overdo it if you're not ready. And make sure you're stretching at a comfortable level. And then we're going to go through what I call the sumo. We're going to lift one leg up and squat, one leg up and squat. It's got a couple more shout outs to Ties and Sean. So thank you for tuning in. Cool, that's enough of that one. That one's gets you quite warm. It gets you sweating a bit. Alright, we're going to quickly warm up our lower back now with twisting. So twisting. Just making sure your feet are pointing straight ahead. We've already warmed up our hips, so we don't want to move from the hips. We want to be warming up our lower back, so just twisting the upper torso. I do this with my hands to help a little bit, but it's fine just to twist. Alright, give that a shake out. And we want to warm up our shoulders. I think I said last week, you don't want to always be dancing like this. It doesn't look the freshest. So the longer you can do this for, the longer when you're dancing, you can have your arms moving. This is actually a really good exercise to build stamina for your arms. So little circles forwards. Half side circles forwards. Big circles forwards. And then just the opposite, big circles backwards. Half side circles backwards. And also shout out to Marie and Julie for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, checking it out and joining in if you are. Small circles backwards. Cool, shake that out, that's also pretty strenuous. Cool. Now we've got our legs, our back. Now we're just going to do our neck, so you just want your neck to one side, to the other side, making sure you're breathing the whole time. Cool, and then just your feet together, you're just going to look up, and looking at your shoes or at the floor. Couple more. Cool, giving that a shake out. Then we'll do our wrists, second to last one. Making circles with your wrists. That's a problem, just going like this. This isn't a dance move, doesn't matter if you can do this or not, just as long as you're moving your wrists and they are warming up. Backward circles if you can, or the other way. No, can't work out backwards. Cool, and then our knees one more time because we hammer our knees in this dance form. Circles with your knees. Backward circles or the opposite way. Cool, and then in and out if you can. As long as your knees are bending, that's all that I'm worried about. Doesn't matter if it looks a little funny. And then backwards if you can, so out and in. Cool. Giving it a shake up. Alright, so last week we went through a drop as well. So this week we're going to kind of combine our drop with with our top rock. So it's called battle up rocking, or up rocking, or battle up rocking. It comes from a kind of a dance form that we base a lot of our top rocks on. Started in the early 70s, a little bit before breaking started in the late 70s. And yeah, it's kind of what inspired a lot of the up top work. This isn't the most technical way to do it. I'm doing it for more for rhythm purposes. So please go check out some rocking or up rocking clips on the internet if you want the full history and some authentic stuff. But this will get you the basic idea so we can all get started. So all I'm going to do is jump forward and put my weight forward, just scissoring my legs. So just jumping forward, and then I'm jumping back. Doesn't matter about your left or right or what foot, just as long as the weight's on one leg, the left leg or the right leg, so on the same leg as you jump back. So jump forward, jump back. So boom, cha, boom, cha. So that's the first two movements. We'll do that again and we'll add some more in. So it goes 1, 2, and then just shuffle, shuffle. So all I'm doing is just 2 little kicks, shuffle, shuffle. If that's too hard, you can just use the weight on both feet. It's not really important. So just forward, back, quick, quick. And then after that, we're going to go touch the ground if we can. A lot of the guys who pioneered this art form and got real good at it, obviously in the 70s and 80s, getting a little bit older now, so sometimes they only go down to here. So it's quite alright for you guys not to go all the way to the floor if you're not ready. But if you're young and you're feeling fit, the lower you can get, the better. I'll probably transition between because I'm middle-aged, I guess. There you go. So jumping forward, back, quick, quick, down. Now if you want to keep this on beat, you have to be pretty ready to jump back up. So go boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. From here you're going to go straight back to boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Cool. If we can just lower the music a little bit, I'll try and beatbox our way through it. I am not Razel or Dougie Fresh, which are some pretty famous beatboxers, so don't judge me on my beatboxing. I'm a dancer, but we'll go through it. So just for rhythm's sake, it's going to go boom, cha, boom, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. Yeah, so forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down. As you're going down, don't rest because you're going to have to jump straight back up. Shuffle, shuffle, down. Yeah? So here we go. Boom. 1, 2, 3, and freeze. Yeah, we can have the beat back up. It's a bit hard to beatbox and dance at the same time. Cool. So we'll do 2 of them, and then we'll stay to the ground. So that's kind of our top rock and drop in 1. So you've got your forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, and we're going to stay down now. So I don't know if you were here last week, we did the spin drop last week. This move is replacing the spin drop for us to get on the floor. So we're here. Last week we did the step outs and the kick outs. So I'll quickly run through them just in case you didn't tune in last week. I'll add some new moves in, and if you want to know those old moves, please check the video that's online under the Marion Culture Center. So we're just going to step one leg out, step the other leg out, bring them both in. And again, I don't really want to be 90 degrees with my shoulder. As I step out or kick out, you want to lift it straight up. And if you're new to this again, please keep your hand flat. You'll probably see me doing this on my thumb a lot. But if you're not too comfortable on the floor, you can jar your thumb, which I've done a fair few times. So if you're just starting out, keep your hands flat on the floor and put them in a comfortable position. So step in, making sure your shoulders sideways or jumping out. Cool. Last week we also did it to the back. So you're here, just hands in push-up position, fine. Jumping outwards, coming back in. And if you're up for it, you can use one hand. If you're using one hand, same thing with your shoulders. Just make sure your shoulders are sideways because it's really hard to hold yourself up like this. One-handed push-ups are pretty hard. So if you turn sideways, it makes it a lot easier. They need a lot less muscles. Cool. So I'll teach you another move on the floor. We'll start on the floor. Then we'll start to put it together. So last week we did the kickouts and the freeze. This week we're going to go a little bit more technical and we're going to do what we call a CC. They're called CCs from the Crazy Commandos crew from New York in the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, so this is the kind of style they invented and their whole crew took on. I think they called it Russian taps because it's similar to the Russian moves. I can't do that anymore, I'm getting a bit older, my knees won't jump, but if you have a look online, I think it's the Cossack dances or traditional Russian dances, like this, but we call it CCs in honour of them who brought it to the forefront of the breaking community and hip hop community. So a CC is just one leg out, and we're just going to put our knees together, flick up. Do the same on the other side. Personally, this is one of the second moves I ever learned, and I use it almost every time I hit the floor still, so it's a pretty good move and it comes in handy for years and years to come. So what we're going to do is grab it doesn't matter if it's your right or left, but my right leg's going to go slightly to the left. I'll put my knees together and I'll just flick up this way. Just tapping this hand on the ground. So just as you do it, make sure your knees are together because if it's like this, it's not very tight and it takes a lot of energy. And if it's like this, it doesn't look the same. So just make sure you're kind of sitting on this foot. And as you swing over, just a CC. If that's not working, there's no shame in just sitting down. You can do it on your butt. And then as you build up the confidence or the hang of it, you can be sitting on your feet. Because this can be a little bit hard for your knees if breaking or getting to the floor is new to you. So we'll run through that a few more times. So if that's straight out in front, I've got it to my right leg to the left. Hitting the CC. I'll bring that leg back in. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Left leg out, CC. Bring it back in. Right leg out, CC. Bring it back in. I'll do it to the side so you can get a different angle. But yeah, just left leg out, knees together, flick it up. Right leg out, knees together, flick it up. We'll go this side. Cool. And remember, add your freeze. Always work off with style. Doesn't really matter what happens in between. If you start of your sentence or your statement looks good and the end of your statement looks good, what's in the middle will always look better. If you do the craziest move and you walk off looking at the floor, it doesn't look as cool, or you got your hands in your pockets. You got to groove off in style. So we went through that a fair bit last week. Please check last week's video if you want more information on that. Alright, so we'll add that into our battle up rock. So we got our forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, stay down. We just got one leg out, CC, other leg out, CC, one leg out, CC, other leg out, CC. If you want to finish that here, we'll do a similar freeze to what we did last time. Put this knee down, push your arms, and give a bit of attitude. You stand up and grooving up. So we'll do that 2 more times. and then I'll add some more into it. So forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, stay down. We got our CC. CC to the other side. CC. CC. Freaks. Freaks. Cool. Give him that a shake off. I'll do the sit down version this time. In case you don't want to get all the way to the floor or it's hurting your knees, please don't hurt yourself. It can take a while to get used to being on the floor, so I've been doing it 20 years, so if I make it look easy, that's because of all my practice. The floor is a long way away for some people, so don't be afraid to work up to it. As long as you're dancing and having fun, that's really all that's important. So forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down. I want to go halfway down. Forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, all the way down. And then if you're right with the full version, go. If you're not, we can just be sitting down, CC, both feet in, left leg out, CC, both feet in. And then you can even cross your legs if you're all the way down here, if you can cross your legs, cross your arms, and then walking off with style. Cool. Alright. So we'll add one more footwork move to that. We call it a sweep because you're sweeping. So it's going to start off like the six step, like the CC, sorry. You've got your leg out here, but instead of going knee to knee, we're going to wrap our knee around our foot. So our foot's here. So if my right leg's out, my hands go to the right, and my leg goes to the left. My left leg's out, my leg goes to the right, my hands go to the left. And all you're doing is wrapping that leg around. Bringing it back in and wrapping that leg around. Please make sure your hands go the opposite way to your leg. I see some people do this, and I definitely can't do that. If you can do that easily, you can make it a move. But for most people, it's a lot easier just to sweep to the opposite side of your leg to the opposite side of your hands. Cool. So all I'm doing is sticking one leg out, wrapping it over, that foot's under my knee, see there? Bring it back out, tucking it under my butt, switching sides, wrapping it around, out, back up. Make sure you break it down into little steps while you're getting started. And then as you get the hang of it, you can kind of make it one big move. Yeah? Cool. So if you're following along at home, we'll do 2 CCs on each side and 2 sweeps on each side. So I'll face the front, we'll start with the right leg out, or any leg, doesn't really matter. CC, back in, CC, back in, wrap, or sweep, sorry, sweep, 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 and then it's our individual preference. I'll go this side because it's much easier for me. But from here, if you can, I use this arm to get some momentum, and I'm going to spin up and freeze. That can be kind of tricky and take a while to learn. You might like to go the other way. But yeah, all I'm doing is crossing my legs, put a bit of weight on them. As I stand up, they'll be crossed, and you just kind of let them uncross. If you try and go the other way, you get stuck. So yeah, just let your legs unwind as you go up. Cool. So here, ha. So we'll add those 3 together, and we'll move on. Forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down. 2 CCs on each side. CC, 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 sweep, sweep, I do one more, you get onto whatever side you want. Spin up and freeze. Yeah? Cool. We'll do that 2 more times. I'm a dancer, so 2 more times usually probably means 4 more times. So I've said that before, I apologise. Dance teachers always say that. Never really mean it. We'll do a few more and then we'll get into some other history of a couple of moves. So we'll go forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, CCs, sweeps, ha, breathe, and then walking off with start. And last time, 5, 6, 7, 8, forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down, CCs, sweep, sweep, ha, ha. I lost my balance there. If you ever lose your balance, just spin the other way if you're comfortable, and out of freeze. No one will know any different. And mistakes is how some of the greatest things get made. So I'll be watching a set back that I filmed. I crashed, but I made it look funky. Then I'll change the set to make it look like that all the time. One more time and then I'll get into the history of the W drop. So here we go. Forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, down. Forward, back, shuffle, shuffle, all the way down. 2 CCs each side. 2 sweeps. Get to your preferred side. Cool. Shout outs to Narelle for tuning in as well. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying it. Alright. So with breaking, there's a couple of different applications of it. Sometimes you might be at a theatre performing. Sometimes you might be at a disco jamming. Sometimes you might be in a competition. It's one of the few dance forms that kind of have a lot of competitions. It's an anaerobic activity, if you know what that means. So short bursts of dancing. Excuse me. Not dancing to a whole song. You start dancing to the break of the song, which is a kind of a fast little drum beat. So don't expect to be doing this for 2 minutes. You'll get quite tired. 30 seconds of dancing is plenty. We're going to talk about breaking. So if I'm at a battle or at a local jam or at a blue light disco or wherever, a circle might open up. Everyone's dancing in the middle of the circle, having their shot, having their solo. And in the early 80s, it's a street dance, so sometimes street dancers, lovely people, but they can be a bit aggressive. So you get into the aggressive side of things, they'll be like talking with their moves. So if you watch any or new school videos have it, if you're watching Red Bull and that, but especially brought around from really old movies from 1984 called Mean Street. That's where I first saw it. That's where they'll tell the other crew something. So we got what we call a W drop. Please don't try it if your knees aren't too flexible. It can be a bit rough on your knees. But we're going to go air W, so I'm making a W in the air. Unfortunately, I can't pause in the air to show you, but just got to land back. We're going to come forward. I'll make a W like this. It's called the W drop. So you want to say something to your opponents or your friend or some move you didn't particularly like, and you do the W drop and call it. It's called, you're kind of telling the opposition that was whack. Look at me, I'm about to do something fresh. So if the person jumps out or the opposition or just even your friend and you're just having friendly banter with them, you just do what we call a W drop. You say their move's whack, get up, and then you do your set, trying to challenge them and move on. So I'll do that a couple of times. I'll do it a couple of different angles, and then we'll have a bit of a back and forth jam, and then that's it. We've got a couple of minutes left. So W drop, tell the opposition that you're not too impressed with them, and then you take the floor. So So if you see that in the movies or videos, that's what they're talking about. There's a couple of others, they'll do this like a bunch of teeth, and they say you bit that move. It was like gliding, so you took it from someone else. And meaning it's not an original move. The more original your moves are, the more points you get in a judging system or an opposition respects you. So here's a bit of banter between them. The W drop and freeze. Alright. We'll just go quick back and forth. I'll have the jam, you can jump out and do what you did. I'll try and pick up the pace to show off a little bit, and we'll go from there. Just shout out to Chrissy for tuning in as well. Alright, we're going to have the beat up just a little bit. So I'm going to do a round and then you do a round. You have a jab, please do not go above your ability, just jump out, do a couple of steps we learned today, a couple of steps you know, add in whatever you want and do a freeze. And with the last little bit of breath I have, I'll try and do a couple more for you. Then 1 second. Make sure my beanie stays on with my bandana. Just to keep my beanie on when I'm rolling around on the floor. Have a turn. I will do one more and then that's it. Quick last one. Alright. Not easy to talk after that. But thank you to Marriott Culture Centre for having us. I'm B-Boy Dreaded, this is my last week. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out the hip hop show they're having here on Saturday, being live streamed to audio. A lot of friends involved in that. Should be a really good one. Thank you very much and I hope to see you soon.